السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أهلا بكم في برنامج نيوكاسل مع وليد. طبعا البرنامج الغد اللي هو يوم الأربعاء الوليد ديف قررنا أنه يعني لظروف معينة أنه نسبقه قبل اليوم نخليه يوم الثلاثاء. طبعا معنا عبد الرحمن القحطاني متواجد حاليا في نيوكاسل. ويلكم لادز.
Thank you الوليد. حياكم الله.
So let's start with you, Dave. What a night we had yesterday after a great win, I think against Arsenal, if I'm not mistaken. How did you see the game, and tell us about the atmosphere and what happened behind the scene? What happened after the game finished?
Well, first off, you said you might have been joking there. You think it was against Arsenal. I'm not sure the team that turned up last night was Arsenal, because they were poor. We were fantastic, but Arsenal were absolutely rubbish. I was going to swear there, but I better keep your language polite. They were absolute rubbish. And if they were a Champions League team going for a Champions League, then if we can buy one or two players, and we can play, and we can get the results like Arsenal have had, then I'm sorry, we will do well. We will get in the Champions League. You know, Arsenal did not look like a Champions League team last night. But the whole night got off to a great start. Met Abdulman in Newcastle, and you know, one of his friends from Saudi Arabia. And then I'd heard that when I was actually on the food collecting for the food bank, I'd heard that Jamie and my dad were coming down to the food bank, so I rushed along just as they were about to leave. But my dad actually recognized us, you know, because I says, I was the first person. Yes, you were there. You were the first person at the hotel. You were the first person. You were the first Geordie I hugged. I says, yeah. And then, so it was nice for my dad to even, he might just said it, you know what I mean? But it felt like it was personal, you know. And then I got my photograph taken with Jamie as well. But that was a great start to a great night. And then we went on and we just took the Michael out of Arsenal. And that was that's a picture based on the same sort of picture we had in the dressing room.
Yes, but it's in the field.
It's everybody was there, and it's on the field. You know, it was amazing, absolutely amazing night.
Yeah, this is a picture for history.
Yeah, it certainly is, because we played fantastic, and the demonstration by War Flags. I mean, you showed it on your video earlier today, and it was absolutely fantastic. That, you know, all the flags and the special flags. The atmosphere was absolutely electric. Brilliant night. I hope we get many more of those nights, those days. You know, next season. And let's hope next season we are pushing for at least a Europa League place, if not a Champions League place. Let's go for it, because I think last night we proved that we can match and better some of those teams who are so-called top six. I think we were much better. You know, we.
But Dave, before I go to Abdurrahman,
we pushed them.
I know it was a great. Everybody knows that it was a great game, but I'm just thinking sometimes, for the team's sake, what if it was we were under pressure last night? Do you think we are gonna perform the same?
Yeah, I think Eddie's got the team playing in such a way that, I mean, last night, yeah, I agree with what you're trying to say, is that we didn't have any pressure. We played with some freedom last night, and we did, but we still had pressure on us, because the pressure that we had is that the other teams like Chelsea and Tottenham wanted to see Newcastle perform, because it meant that, first off, Chelsea were guaranteed a top 4 place, and it also meant that Tottenham were also now in the box seat. So they were looking for Newcastle to perform well, and we did. So there was still some pressure there, because if we hadn't performed at our best, and Chelsea hadn't been confirmed of their place, and Tottenham hadn't been confirmed of their place, they'd be complaining that we didn't try. But we tried, and we played them. We played them off the park. We poshed them. We absolutely poshed them. And next season, it gives us hope for next season with some fresh players, some new additions. And obviously, you could see the board. You had all the owners there, and all the chief executives there. You had the new person from Saudi Gulf was there. So it was a great night, absolutely great night for everybody around her. So onwards and upwards.
That's great, Dave. Abdurrahman, I'd like to say welcome to Newcastle for second time. What you can tell us about your visit before we go to the match details?
I cannot describe the match with anyone. I'm speechless, because yesterday was like one of the amazing night in my life. The first match in front of Brighton, then after that with Southampton and in St. Mary. But yesterday was like, it is the really great night. For sure, Newcastle have the advantage to play on St. James Park. The war flag, the fans, everything was absolutely amazing.
How was your visit, second visit to Newcastle?
Really, I'm familiar with the city right now. I know how to go from side to side. I buy the bus ticket. I visit today Mouth Tyne, North Shield. So yeah, and also I have planned to visit Sunderland as well, Durham. Yeah, this is like a kind of visiting, Dave, not to support them.
But just make sure you do not wear your football top. Do not wear your football jacket, because they do not like us over there. They do not like us over there.
I know there is, like, a long time ago, there was a derby between Newcastle and Sunderland. So yeah, there is a history between them.
Very much so. Very much so. I mean, you're not going to get any trouble or anything like that, you know what I mean? But everybody from Sunderland is, even then, Tom, everybody from Sunderland doesn't like Newcastle, and people from Newcastle don't like Sunderland, So you don't see many Sunderland football shirts in Newcastle, and you don't see many Newcastle shirts in Sunderland. So you might be singled out. You might be singled out. So you just be careful.
Sure.
Be careful.
Okay, Dave, let's talk about this, because now everybody talk about now more sources, more trusted words over this, talking about the transfers. Okay, as we hear, and we want you to give us what you heard about it. Let's start with Dean Henderson. Today, Steve Wright host. I forget the name for one of the important newspaper journalists, talking about that heavily linked of Dean Henderson to Newcastle. Your take on that?
Yeah, there is obviously, but again, I believe it's these stories that come out every time there's a transfer window that we're always going to get linked with every player who is looking for a new contract or a move elsewhere, because they're using us as a way to get a contract. But I agree with what Steve says, is that there's every chance that Henderson will be joining Newcastle. But if not Henderson, like I said to you last week, I think the guy who's at Burnley, Pope, he's a fantastic goalkeeper. Let's have a look at him as well. If we can't get Henderson, but Henderson's he's a good kid. He's a good English player. You know what I mean?
But Dave, I don't want to interrupt you, but I know there is a lot of players, a million of players linked, but we are talking now about heavily linked, or they just been repeated over the media and journalists.
Yeah. Again, it's heavily linked, but nothing will happen until next week after next. It's the 10th of June. The transfer window opens on the 10th of June. We could, unless we sign a pre-contract, which to me could be the case if we want to get in there first before anybody else. Then yes, get Henderson. Henderson, he's a good option. He's a very good option.
Target.
So Dave, I have a question. So maybe some players already signed with Newcastle, but they will announce this after with the window transfer open. Is it possible to think like that?
But you see what's happened with Haaland. Haaland's already signed. You can sign a pre-contract to say that you will sign for that football club come the 10th of June. But yeah, I think there's a lot of deals which have already just been done. I think a lot of deals have already been talked about, have been agreed, and it's just waiting until the football season ends, and then you can start talking to these players officially. So yeah, I think this, like Tom said there, Jesus from Man City, he's got to be a target. But Henderson, like you say, heavily linked. But players who are heavily linked doesn't always mean that they'll sign.
Okay, what about Target? As we hear that he already will be activated the signing procedure after grading the personal terms.
Well, there was no signing on. There was no signing on clause in his contract when he joined on loan. It wasn't with a view to a permanent buy. So,
but according to Lee Reader, that they are gonna activate it to renew or to make it permanent,
right?
By agreement.
Good. He's good. He's good player. He's done a good job for me. He's done
especially with being says around that Lodi, the Brazilian from Atletico, will join. So this is make us confused past few days.
Yeah, but you need cover in those positions. You need cover in those positions. So if you sign one or two players in those positions, that's great. We've always struggled with our left back or right back. We've always had a decent centre half pairing, but we've struggled with a left back and a right back. We've got Trippier now, who can play left back or right back, but he prefers being right back. We've got Target, who plays left back. So if we've got options there, Crafts will be an option. Kraft's a different player now than what he was. He's certainly come on a lot under Eddie Howe. Not to the same extent as Joe Linton, but Kraft was a joke under Steve Bruce. He couldn't string two passes together. He couldn't put a tackle in. He was always caught out of position. He's not like that now. He still makes the odd mistake, but he's not as bad as he was. So if Lodi comes, Lodi will come on the left hand side. So we've got cover for Target, or Target covers Lodi. You know what I mean? We need more than one player in that position. So we
need backup for Target.
Yeah. Because how old is Lodi?
I think they are all the same age, around the same age. So that's why when I linked their trusted news from sources, like I remember about 2 months ago, Fabrizio Romano said something about Aaron Hickey, that he will close to Newcastle, as he's a young lad, 18 years old. And I thought he will be the backup of Target, because I think it's very hard to have two left back almost about the same performance, same age, to be at both sides. Okay, Dave, regarding يعني, and what also makes sense when Eddie Howe says that he like the group, he didn't want to change much. So if you apply this into taking off Target and bring Lodi and start again with different left back, and ignore Target, who did great games. I think all his games are great, maybe except 2 or 3. It was some certain position, maybe just like City or strong teams, difficult games with maybe a lot of injuries. What do you think, Dave?
Wait, if Eddie, I mean, Eddie Howe knows what players are going to do a job for him, and he knows there's players who haven't done a job for him. So those players, he's already mentioned that some of those players who've been at Newcastle a long time, you know, it's going to be hard, but they will be going. But there's some players have shown that they have got the cojones for a battle, for a fight, you know, and Kraft being one of them. Kraft's shown that he can put in a shift if need be. Murphy's shown he can put in a shift. I think players such as Hayden and Lewis, I think they may well make weights. I think they may well leave. I'm not too sure about whether John Joe would leave, because we need somebody who's got experience. But Sean Longstaff, perhaps last night, was not as strong as the other players. So Longstaff might be one of those make-weight players, because you're going to have to look to keep players like Joe Willock. And, you know, if you keep Willock, you can't keep Longstaff if you're going to bring in other players, other top-name players from Brazil, you know, Paqueta, can't say his name properly. But, you know, if we're going to bring
Paqueta, which is now in Newcastle now, celebrating Bruno's birthday.
What?
Paqueta is now in Newcastle to celebrate Bruno's birthday, apparently. Really, yeah.
Yes, wait, so that's the case. They might get him signed on at the end of the week.
Him to St. James Park and sign with him.
I wonder if he was there last night then. I wonder if he was watching the game last night.
No, I think he arrived today.
That's what they tell you.
So, do you think, Dave, this is like more than a hint? Do you think this is just coincidence, or
No,
I never see such a thing before.
Yeah, I think it's a coincidence, and I think it's you know, but where there's smoke, there's always fire. You know what I mean? There's no smoke without fire. So it might happen. It might be something in the background. It might be something they use to our advantage. He's here. We might have a chance to talk to him, you know. But and if he was here last night and he's seen what we can do, what the fans can do, and what, you know, how we can raise an atmosphere, who knows? He might be saying to Bruno, hey, get me a job. You know? He might be giving Bruno the nudge.
Well, it's been asked, Eddie Howe, as I read that about Paqueta, and Bruno talks about him, and he said that I didn't do it before, but I need to have a quick or a deep look into it. I think this is diplomatic answer by Eddie Howe.
Yeah, very diplomatic.
Do you think he will go for it?
Yes. If Paqueta wants to come, I can see that happening. But like I said to you before, we can't keep signing all these Brazilians, these South Americans, you know, because we won't have a team. If half of them are away playing in the Copa America, you know, stuff like that, we'll never have a team. You know, you'd have Bruno away, you'd have Joe Linton away because he'll get a call up before long. You'll get Paquita away, you'll get Lodi away, and you'll get Almiron away. Anybody else? That's half our team gone. You know what I mean?
عبد الرحمن نروح لك يا عبد الرحمن، تعليقك على هذه الامور. انا ما ادري صراحه كثير مطالبين ترجمه، لكن احنا اوريدي مسوين مساحه بالعربي، مسوين حلقه بالعربي، يعني لازم يعني احنا نحاول نوصل، يعني نوصل صوتنا جماهير السعوديه في نيوكاسل والعكس برضه كذلك. عبد الرحمن, so يعني about these names we mentioned, what's your take on everyone?
Let's see, for Renan Lodi, I think he's will be good. A good addition to the team because we need someone to cover target. Now Jamal Luis, he's in injury and maybe he will not be fit as target. For Paquita, maybe he will be one of the options because we have more than one player in the same position. We have Willock, we have Shelby, we have Bruno, so maybe he will be one of the options. And for Henderson, yeah, he's he's young, and I think he will take. He will fight for this position because he will be with the Bravka. They will do their best to be in that position.
عبد الرحمن مدري معلش نعلق معاي باكيتا, رايك your opinion on Paquita?
Paquita, as I mentioned before, maybe there is 3 or 4 players in Newcastle. They are in the same position, so maybe he will be one of the options, but not like the first one you will sign with him.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, Dave, let's talk about Wilson return yesterday. He really improved, and also he almost lose teeth, and he's trying to cover. So what a return was, Dave.
He played well, played very well. He needs to learn how to stay on side though. How many times did he get caught offside by not keeping an eye on the line? He was caught offside at least 4 or 5 times, because he plays on the shoulder. You know what I mean? He's a typical player, typical striker where he plays just off the defender's shoulder. But he's got to be a bit more aware about staying on side, because some of those breakaways that we had, with crosses coming in from target or other player or from Almiron, and he was offside, and you think that would have been such a waste if we'd scored, and it would have been cancelled out because Wilson was offside. But he was fantastic. He put himself about. He was on the, you can say, he was on the defender's shoulder. He was making the defenders work hard. I mean, just the same as what Chris Wood does. Chris Wood makes the defender work hard, but there was more of an end product with Wilson. He had a couple of efforts, you know, a couple of chances where he could have scored, and he did enough to put the Arsenal defender under loads of pressure, and he ended up putting the ball in his own net. Because if he hadn't have scored, Wilson would have scored. You know, it was Wilson was putting pressure on, and he's fantastic. He had a great game, and like I say, he's got to be walking around like that for a few weeks, keeping his tooth in place, because that tooth was hanging. It was hanging by a thread. I would have just pulled it out, me. I would have just yanked it out.
He fixed it today.
They fixed it.
Yeah. لو تبي تحط الصورة أبو تميم.
Everyone's silent. وليد.
ما حطيت الصورة أنا عبد الرحمن. Dave, speaking here, Tom, question. As we speak about striker, For me, if I guarantee Wilson will play every game like yesterday, I will not think about striker. But unfortunately, this is not going to happen, and we see that he sometimes got recurrent injury. I think the style he played with Bruce before make him this kind of injury, as he depend on only him in front with keep sprinting every time the whole 90 minutes, which is caused and this kind of injury in calf muscles. Okay, Dave. So who you prefer to have as a striker to join Wood and Wilson next season?
A striker, Ivan Toney.
Sure.
I'd rather have Toney.
That's the best you can go for?
No, it's not the best you can go for, but there's a lot of who we're talking about here. You talk about Darwin Núñez. Núñez, yes, but what I think it's going to cost so much money to get Núñez, and I think there's lots of other clubs that are talking to Núñez. But Ivan Toney has had a year in the Premiership now. I think he could play alongside. I think he could play alongside Wilson. I honestly don't think Chris Wood will be there next season. He's done a good job, and he's helped with that. He's helped get through this.
But Dave, if he play like Wilson and Wood play together, I think it's gonna be different.
Yeah, I don't think you can get Wood and Wilson playing together. They're too much the similar type of target man. They're getting each other's way. Wilson's a bit more. Wilson plays the channels a bit more, but Wood is a big bloke. He holds the ball up. Wilson likes the ball played through. So at the similar styles of play. I don't think it'd be a good pairing. Thomas is a Ticky, yes, but Ticky is he's 19, 20. He's possibly going to be a decent player coming forward. But if we keep Wilson fit, then I would think Ivan Toney might do a job. If not, it's just an idea. It's not. It wouldn't cost too much money. Whereas somewhere like Darwin Núñez is going to cost us an absolute fortune. But if the owners want to go and buy Núñez, I'm happy with that. You know what I mean? I'm happy with that. I'm happy with them going and signing Mbappe and Messi and all that sort of players. But let's be realistic. Let's see who we can get. Paqueta, Lodi, Botman, Carlos. However, man, we're going to be linked with everybody again.
No, we are talking about a striker now. Abdurrahman, who do you think we can get as a striker? Your recommendation and your take on Wilson as well.
I read some news about Ekitike and maybe Núñez. So, I believe one of them will join, because they are Newcastle still push again and again for Núñez, and for Ekitike, I think they will do the same thing with Almeria what did with Núñez. They will sign with him and maybe send him to one of the club. Then they can sell him again. So yeah, I think one of them would be like in shifting either with Wood or with Wilson.
I remember Kieran Trippier. He's been linked and repeatedly linked to Newcastle before he come. So do you think now with same kind of repetition, like Ekitike, Botman, Henderson, these players were being like for 1 year, almost 1 year, talking about the same player. He will join to Newcastle. So do you think, Dave, there is a truth in that, or this is just wish list by the fans?
It's a wish list by anybody, actually, isn't it? It's not just by the fans. It's everybody. This is what I mean, وليد. To be a Newcastle fan, right? We link ourselves with everybody, and then everybody links themselves with us, and then everybody else links somebody else with us. We could have a list of 1,000 players who get, honestly, it could be a list of hundreds and hundreds of players who get linked with Newcastle every season, and we don't get anywhere near signing them. But it's agents talking their players up. It's players talking themselves up. The realistic deals get done quietly. Trippier was one of those deals which was mentioned. Trippier said he wanted to come. Now that's a big thing. So when you get a player who does that, then what you should do is then go for that player, and that's what we did. Trippier said he was interested. He would come. So what we did was we made a deal. We got him sorted out. We got him across the line. If you get a TK saying he wants to come, don't forget he said he didn't want to come. In January, he said he didn't want to come. He didn't want to be involved with the relegation. He didn't understand what was going on. He didn't want to come. He might want to come now. But you look to those players who want to come, who see a project. You don't want players coming because they see a payday. And there's far too many players like that who see a payday. They'll see all the Saudi money and they'll think, oh, let's go there. Let's see if we can get where. The agent will say, let's see if we can get you there. But
same what happened with Butman.
We will get linked with everybody.
Sorry to interrupt, Dave, but like for Butman, his price was maybe 30 or 35, but with the last transfer window, they raised his price until 60 or 70. So
because they saw the fact that we had Saudi money. They thought they could then charge us what they wanted. The fact is that Abderman's in Newcastle right now. He could be signing for Newcastle. He's a young Saudi lad. He's in Newcastle. Get him signed on. You know what I mean? But that's how ridiculous. I'm not being funny, Abderman here.
Which position, Abdurrahman?
Midfielder.
Too many
defensive or attacking?
Defensive.
Oh, that's what we need. One among the things we need.
Yeah, but no, it's a case of we always get linked with everybody, and that's just, there will be names who will come out, and there will be realistic. Let's say you might get your Nunes, but even talking now, they're talking like the Nunes deal is probably going to be too expensive. Who else is there available? Who was that lad we were trying to get last year in January?
Which position?
Striker. God, I can't remember what he was called now. Can't remember what he's called now. You thought he was a fantastic player. I think he plays in Italy or somewhere. But
Bellucci?
I can't remember who it was.
Italy, Bellucci, but for me, he's not that great.
Oh, who's the South American player?
Alvarez?
No. Is he a Brazilian or Colombian?
Okay.
I'll have to look it up.
Diego Costa.
No, not Costa. It was I will leave when you put us on the spot now.
Didoma or something.
Who?
There is one of the players, I think.
There's players. There's players out there. Let's look at the realistic ones. Let's look at the ones we know we can get a deal. Which ones will come to the fore, and that we know we can get a deal. Not one where they're going to be held to ransom, like Botman or Carlos, where the price just keeps going up and up and up and up and up. You know, that's it. We'll pay you this. If you don't want to sign the deal, fine. Move on. Find somebody who does want to come. And you will get some players who do want to come, who will put pressure on their agents and then on their football clubs to say, I want to go to Newcastle.
طيب عبد الرحمن, maybe if you pardon us, we'll talk now in Arabic a bit, because I'm going to ask you the same question, and I will come to the latest question to Dave. طيب عبد الرحمن, أنا بس بسألك على نفس السؤال سأل ديف, إنه يعني اللي أبغى أوضحه هنا, يعني إنه تريبير كثير كان نفس الترابط أو نفس الطريقة اللي يعني مصادر موثوقة قاعدة تتكلم إنه اللاعب اقترب من النادي, لدرجة في ناس كانوا مشككين وفعلا جاء تريبير. هل تحس هذا الشيء ينطبق الآن على الأسامي اللي جالسة تتكرر من كذا مصدر, زي مثلا دين هندرسون, تارجت, مثلا باكيتا, إكيتيكي, يعني هذول اللاعبين قاعدين يتكررون من كذا مصدر, فمين اللي تحسه فعلا يعني فعلا صار لاعب نيوكاسل خلاص فقط ينتظرون هي مسألة وقت؟
شوف, بالنسبة لباكيتا يعني أنا أتوقع زي ما تقول الجماهير ترى عاطفية, الجماهير زي ما تقول جيبوا خويه معه, ما أتوقع إنه بيجي. يعني أوكي هو ممكن يكون لاعب كويس, بس على الوضع الحالي هو نفس البوزيشن حق نفس المركز حق برونو, فأنت ما حتجيب اثنين يلعبوا لك في نفس المكان. فما أتوقع, يعني أتوقع ممكن من الاحتمالات الأخيرة, يعني زي ما تقول زي كريس وود, دوروا مهاجمين في النهاية ما انحدوا عليه, هذا هو خلاص جيبه. فأتوقع نفس الشيء. لكن أنت الآن في الصيفية لا, يعني وضع الفريق لما جاي تعاقد في الانتقالات الشتوية, أنت فريق في المركز قبل الأخير, فشيء طبيعي ما في ولا لاعب يجيك. يعني أنا اللي تريبير صراحة أنا والله العظيم, يعني رغم إني ما كنت أعرفه قبل, ما كنت أعرفه إلا من يوم ما جاني نيوكاسل, بس اللاعب لا, لاعب كابيتانو. أنا أمس والله يمكن نص الفيديوهات عن نهاية المباراة قاعد أصور في تريبير فقط. لاعب يعني, وتفرجت له مقابل برضه مع ترو جوردي, لاعب قال أنا جاي عشان مشروع فريق. في لاعبين زي ما قال ديف, في لاعبين جايين عشان فلوس, مو بجايين عشان مشروع.
لا, ويمكن يدخل في الطاقم التدريبي لإيدي هاو قريبا.
والله بيكون
لو اعتزل خلال سنة إذا استمر إيدي هاو.
أنا أقول لك تريبير صراحة أنا أشوفه
طيب
من أفضل.
مين تحس إيه, بس أنا أربط لك في تريبير الآن. أحس يعني سؤالي عن تريبير إنه أحس الحين مين تحس إن اللاعبين اللي فعلا قريبين لنيوكاسل جدا يعني؟
غالبا شوف, يعني غالبا هندرسون ممكن إكيتيكي, يعني لأنه شوف فابيو الصحفي الإيطالي تكلم على الموضوع هذا, كأني شفت له تغريدة على هندرسون. فأتوقع يعني برضو هذا من الاختيارات الكويسة, لأنه على الوضع الحالي ما حد, يعني زي ما تقول ما في حراس يعني بعمر صغير تقدر إن أنت تبني عليهم فريق. يعني مثلا زي دبرافكا كويس, بس لو دحين غاب دبرافكا ما حاجته مكانه. فهذا هو. فأنا أشوف هندرسون ممكن وإيكيتيكي, يعني هم أقرب شيء, وممكن رينا اللودي. هذه الثلاث الاختيارات اللي أشوفها ممكن إنه يا إنهم موقعين معاهم, أو إنه زي ما تقول يعني فجأة أنت شفت في أحد الصفقات الخمسة اللي وقع مع نيوكاسل في الشتوية, في أحد الصفقات يمكن خلاص فجأة ما تعرف عنه إلا من الإعلان.
يمكن تحس إنه في قطعوا شوط كبير فيها, لكن علشان لما اقترب خلاص انتهى السوق أجلوها للصيف. Maybe they've يعني maybe they because this name repeated, maybe they were halfway there, but the January market end, so they decide maybe to continue in summer. ديبالا been يعني been in the air.
He's mentioned many times by the fans, so
yeah, and there is special talk as per media with Manchester United, Arsenal, Newcastle. For me, I think he just wants to he will waste agent time, and same Coutinho. He just wants the best maybe deal, or he's not really sure what they're going. What do you think, Dave, of Dybala?
Exactly that. Another player who's just looking for a decent payday. You know, I don't want mercenaries at the football club. I want players like Trippier who want, and Bruno. You know, Bruno had the chance to join Arsenal. You know, and he didn't want to join Arsenal. He's seen the project at Newcastle, and although we were in a relegation fight, we were in a relegation battle. He wanted to come and join that fight. We need players who not so much want to join the fight for a relegation. We want players who see the project and see what they can actually bring to the project. Bruno said it himself. When he joined Newcastle, he said he wants to become a Newcastle legend. You know, he didn't want to become a Newcastle multimillionaire. He wanted to become a Newcastle legend. He has become part of that already. He's, you know, for the time that he's been there, he's one of those players who've actually improved the team. He's got Newcastle, he's got everybody in the country talking about him because he's a fantastic player. And the fact is, we've got him. He's a Newcastle player. You know, the same thing happened back in the 1995-96. David Ginola came from a team in France, in Marseille, I think it was. He was kicked out because he was such a bad player, bad boy, bad influence. You know, they didn't want him because he was always getting into trouble. But Kevin Keegan sold him the project at Newcastle, and he came. And David Ginola, although he didn't play for France anymore, you know, everybody wanted David Ginola, and he ended up going to Tottenham. You know, things like that happen. We can attract the best players. We've just got to make sure in the future we can keep hold of those best players.
Dave, what do you think of Steve Warnock says here? Eddie Howe is known to buying less known players to improve them. I'm not hopeful, none big names, except a few teams. Okay, maybe too big. So, do you think this is Eddie Howe? He can't target big. No, sorry, not can't. I mean, he's not like used to have a ready-made player. Just back have someone have good quality and just improve them.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, because he's always had to work on a budget. He's always had to work on a budget. He hasn't had that. He's never had the choice to bring in the best players in the world. You know, so he's got it. He works with players and he improves players. However, you got to look at Joe Linton. Joe Linton, he was shocking. He was shocking. And Eddie Howe's turned up, and Joe Linton's now player of this season. He's Newcastle's player of the season. You know, player of the year award. The fans player of the year award because they think he's brilliant. Because Eddie Howe worked with him. Eddie Howe has got the best out of a player who was at best championship level. The same thing goes for Emil Kraft. Emil Kraft couldn't trap or couldn't tackle a bag of cement, but now he can control. He gets down the wing. He does the overlaps. Another player that Eddie Howe has transformed. So Eddie Howe can do that. But can he, if he was given a team full of Brunos, could he get could he get any more out of them? Probably not, because they're already the accomplished player. What he can do, though, is he can integrate those players into the way he sees the rest of the players playing. And we've seen that when Bruno came, and we were all asking why wasn't Bruno playing? Why Bruno not playing? Because he was busy building Bruno up into the play that he wants to, not taking Bruno's skills away or what he brings to the game, but what he can bring to the team. And he brought him through gradually. And when he was ready, when he got the chance, he'd come in and, you know, he scored goals. He's become a cult player. And the rest of the Premier League are asking, how on earth did Newcastle sign him? Why did he sign for Newcastle? Why didn't he sign for Arsenal? Why didn't he sign for Man United? Why didn't he sign for Liverpool? He came to Newcastle because he's come to the best club in the world. Yeah. But
we're going to talk about details, a lot of details about transfer window. We're just going to go to a few topics because this thing we're going to cover it with Dave, and welcome Abdurrahman to join us in some of the our new shows soon to be tuned. Dave, let's play this clip, and we're gonna open a new topic.
Leaked photo of the third away shirt for Newcastle next season, the white and the green. So, what's your comment? Do you like the shirt? What's your comment about that?
I think it's a great idea. Certainly from the owner's point of view, it's a great marketing idea. Because it's going to gain a lot of popularity in Saudi Arabia. And it's going to help build the bond between not just Newcastle United, but I think the rest of the UK. If they see a bond with Saudi Arabia, I think each culture, Saudi Arabia and from the UK, I think I think a relationship will be better for both of our nations. But I think it's an exciting time when the strip does come out. Yeah, I'll probably buy one.
So hopefully next time, next season, next game, St. James Park.
Sorry, I missed the end of that.
I mean, next season, hopefully you will wear this shirt in first game at St. James Park next season.
Yes, I'll
the
get
new
one.
shirt.
I'll get one.
That was Mr. Eddie from Live Tyneside broadcast. Dave, how's now the new word I learned? Meltdown. Is it the meltdown about this topic? Have it as you also called it, went to the bed?
to me, you know what it is, when the black and white strip came out, I like the black and white one and I like the blue one. And by the blue one is supposed to be the third strip. That is like the third kit. And what we hadn't seen was the goalkeeper top. And we hadn't seen the away strip. And when the away strip came out with the white and the green, I went, get in, because it was a homage to the people of Saudi Arabia who have invested in us by us playing in the green and white, or the white and green. We're paying, we're investing in that relationship we're going to build with Saudi Arabia. We're going to build that, and I don't give a flying what other people think. This is my football club. If they want to look at things like that, you know what I mean. What makes them? Why would anybody think it's? Why would anybody think it's a Saudi Arabian strip? It's not. It could be an Ireland copy. We have a lot of people in our football club are from Ireland. It could be any. It's just a white shirt with a green band around the collar and a green band around the cuff of the shirt. Yeah.
Bakita in tone shirt.
Brilliant.
In Bruno backyard. See, that's so. Yeah. He really make it coming. Make it truth. What do you think, Dave?
I wish that was the truth. I think how to. So
how this? What message? What kind of message he sent to Leon by this?
I think he said, "Yeah, come and get me, come and get me."
No, to Leon.
He teasing them, Abu Tamim.
And if I am Leon fan, I would be very angry.
Right. Yeah, but yeah. Look, years ago, Lee Clark was playing for Sunderland. Now, Lee Clark was a Newcastle player, and he's Newcastle diehard, and he went to Wembley, and he was playing for Sunderland at this time. Remember, he was playing for Sunderland, and he put a T-shirt on for a bit of fun, and it had on SMB. Now that means Sad Macam something else, right? So he was wearing a shirt in Wembley, which was degrading the team that he was playing for, and they sacked him because of that. So let's hope Leon see Paquita wearing a Newcastle strip and say, "Get out, you're not welcome anymore." And we just spring for nothing.
تعليقك يا عبد الرحمن.
والله it is weird thing to like he already have a contract with Lyon, so it is weird to see him in tone T-shirt. But if this is the case and Lyon agreed to sell him, why not?
والله I think this is for me something very new to see this.
ما في لاعب قد سواها يعني.
Nobody do it before. Have something happen with this before with Newcastle before, Dave? That something. And this is beyond hint. This is not a hint. This is, as you said, come and get me. I'm ready.
Yeah, it's beyond a hint. Yeah, it is beyond. But like you say, if he's come across to the UK to go and have a knockabout, he's gone to Bruno's and he's having a knockabout in the garden with his friends. You wouldn't want to knockabout in your best clothes, so he's just probably put some of Bruno's kit on just so he doesn't get dirty. You know what I mean? So, but then again, you got to be wary. There's always a camera watching somewhere. Got to be careful.
I think this is not a coincidence, and I think they want to be shown in the media.
He wants to be seen. He wanted to be seen. Yeah, you're right. He wanted to be seen wearing a black and white top or a Newcastle top. Yeah.
Well, the thing about Newcastle, especially now, it's very interesting. Anything could happen. This is really a fantasy.
Real fantasy. You cannot guess or cannot assume anything.
Yeah, we're living out of standard, or I don't know if I'm misspoken. I mean, like special era, and everything could happen. Really, I'm very excited for the summer transfer window because we're gonna have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right. So now let's take. طبعا إذا عندكم أسئلة على السريع، احنا في آخر 5 دقائق تقريبا من البرنامج. أنا جاوبت بعض الأسئلة أغلبها تقريبا. We'll wait some question, Dave, at the last 6 minutes of our show. I want to just, if you tell us about how's, what was the video?
There's my baby.
I would have been out for a lot more, but I've been stuck in more than
Well, I've been going to do it for the last 3 years. It keeps getting fucking cancelled. I was supposed to be doing it this year.
Dave, why you didn't go and take Abdurrahman and Bakita and show them town?
I should do.
On the bike, on the scooter.
Yeah.
What was that about?
It's just something we do every week. We do it on a Tuesday or we do it on a Wednesday. We get together. It's just a bunch of lads who like to ride around on scooters. It's part of the British subculture. I've told you about this before, about the subcultures, and we have a lot of subcultures like punk. We have mods, which is, well, I'm a mod, or you have different sort of genres and people have their own tastes and stuff like that. And we meet up and we like scooters. We talk about scooters. I mean, this is not a Sunderland shirt. It's actually a mod design shirt, you know, from the 1960s. When we like the 1960s was quite a thing for the mods, and there used to be thousands of people going on scooters, and they used to end up going down to Brighton and having big fights in Brighton with people who rode motorbikes. We didn't like people who rode motorbikes, but we'd go down to Brighton and we'd have a big scrap on the beach. Scooters and mods and rockers and bikes, you know, was just one of those things. We don't fight anymore. We all get together now. We all love riding bikes now and just riding around, and we get together and it's a good night. So that's where I've been tonight before I came on show tonight. It's lovely just to get out and, you know, and ride a scooter. It's brilliant. I love it.
Yeah, that's
we should get a lot more people to turn up. You know, we get Abdomen on, we get all the players on their own scooters. We ride through Newcastle. It'd be great, man. It'd be great.
Yeah, it's gonna be great advertising. Really, that was a great, Dave. What do you think, Abdurrahman? Do you think this is something you could try it?
Yeah, why not?
Give it a try to go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Next time, inshallah, in the next season, when I came for the beginning of the season, I will come with my motorcycle license.
Yeah. There's honestly, I would some of those not many, but there was a lot of those those scooters there tonight, where people have actually they've upgraded the engines and paint. They've had special paint jobs done on them. Some of those paint jobs can cost hundreds of pounds. So some people can spend thousands of pounds on those scooters, and you know, it's their pride and joy. And if there's any rich benefactors in Saudi Arabia who want to buy me a really, 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 really nice bike, I'll take it. But I love my bike. You see my bike there; it's black and white. It's black and white. Of
course it is.
You know, it's a homage to what I like to do, and it's a homage to my football team as well.
That's great, Dave. Last quick question. As Tom asked us, prediction for Burnley game, last game away in the season. Let's start with you, Dave.
I think it'll be a draw.
Because Burnley, and you need the game, you think?
Well, Burnley's playing tonight, aren't they? I don't know what their score is tonight yet. I know Burnley's playing tonight. Is it tonight they're playing?
I'm not really sure.
Yeah, because if Burnley win today, then they will be out of the bottom 3. Leeds United will drop into the bottom 3.
Yeah, I guess it's gonna be Leeds.
They will play on Thursday.
Thursday, is it?
In front of Aston Villa.
So they're playing on Thursday. So, you know, if they're playing on Thursday and they get 3 points on Thursday, then they may well only need a point against Newcastle to stay up. I don't know what I can't think what I can't remember what the goal, what the difference is. I don't know. I've got it. No, I haven't got it handy. But I think it'll be a draw, but I think Burnley will probably do enough on. I see. I'm saying that. I mean, who did Everton play? Everton play Arsenal, don't they? Everton play Arsenal?
Yeah. Last game of Everton is
Last game, Everton playing
last
Arsenal.
game. But I think there is a game before. They have 2, I think. Everton.
See, if Everton lose those games, Everton could be in the bottom 3 as well. If Leeds win and Burnley win,
still possible.
Everton's got a hard. But Everton's been playing well lately. They've been playing very well lately. You know, it asks questions. Why haven't they played so well before this season? You know, Richarlison has come from nowhere. He's scoring goals for fun at the minute. So let's see. I think let's get back to Burnley. Us against Burnley. I think it'll be a 1-1. It'll be 1-1, and I think Trippier will score over the wall.
What do you think, Abdurrahman? And are you going to Burnley game? And what do you think of the result?
For the game prediction, I believe it will be 2-1 for Newcastle. And for me, if I will attend the match or not, I did not. Unfortunately, I was not able to get the ticket, so I'm hoping by Sunday to reach out to some people to get the ticket.
And what if you couldn't? Where are you gonna watch the game?
Sorry?
Where are you gonna watch the game if you couldn't go to Burnley?
Newcastle.
I know, but where?
Shark here in there is Shark Club in Salman Hotel or in the city center as they advised me yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, for me, I accept we're gonna win over Burnley.
I think we're going to win, dear. What score?
I think maybe 2-1.
So
Newcastle have the advantage because they already their injury with the Wilson and Trippier they already recovered, and we saw their capabilities to change the game during what they did in front Manchester City and what Wilson did yesterday. So yeah, if we play with Wilson and Trippier and all of the player doing their part, I believe we will maybe we'll score more than goals.
Okay. You know what it is? I think you've got to remember this is the last game of the season, right? Oh, you're optimistic, Tom. You're optimistic there, mate. Last game of the season, what's going to happen? What could happen is that Eddie Howe will give the majority of his first team the day off. He'll give those players who may be leaving, those players who haven't played very much, they may well get a game to play. So I could see, and that's where I could see us getting a draw because we won't play the full strength team.
Yeah, but Dave, tell us about the ethics. Sorry, maybe is it like ethics? Maybe I mean, like, if you are same situation of Newcastle. If you play against a team gonna be relegated, depend on this game, and you are already have nothing to play for, nothing much to play for. So is this normal? يعني, there is gonna be like some. They will let them win kind of play, because it's يعني they are suffering, and the result or their destiny depend on this game. So they are gonna fight till death about this game, and this will maybe cause injuries and stuff. How usually the culture in Premier League teams in such kind of situation?
Happens all the time. Happens all the time. Where it happened to us. It's happened to us a number of times before, where teams we've needed to play their strongest team, you know, to beat those people around us who were in the same relegation fight as us. And what's happened is that, say it's Man City or Arsenal or Liverpool or Chelsea, they've tended to play a weakened team. They play their reserves, they play their, and they get beat by our relegation rivals.
And the intention go easily. The intention go easily.
What's that?
They go easily. Yani
Yeah.
by purpose.
Because in some cases, those teams are playing in, say, in the FA Cup final, or they're playing in the Champions League final, or they're playing in the Europa final.
What about
So
Newcastle?
they don't want their players to get injured, so they'll play a weakened team against teams who need to have points, and it ends up that people's relegation rivals get upset because they feel as though it's like a fix that they've played a weakened team. You know, they might not choose to, but that's the way it is, and it happens, and it's happened before. It happens all the time. It's not fair. So if we go to Burnley, and we don't put a performance on, and Leeds get relegated, you can imagine Leeds will be saying, well, Newcastle didn't try. So we've got to go there and put a performance on. But at the same time, we can't risk any of our players becoming seriously injured, that they're not going to be available. Because don't forget, next season starts very early.
Yes.
The season starts in July, not in August like it normally does. It starts in July. So, and then it obviously has the break come October, November for the World Cup. So we can't have a player picking up an injury which might see him missing the start of the season. So we're either going to take it easy or we're going to play the reserves.
All right.
Hopefully try and get a result. Which is why I think a draw will be a better result. I don't think we'll be going all out to win. We'll try and win, but I don't think we'll be putting our best team out.
Yeah, that's the point why all the team gonna play the same time. We'd like to thank you, Dave and Abdurrahman, for your input tonight. طبعا عندنا إن شاء الله بكرة نيوكاسل مع وليد إن شاء الله الأربعاء إن شاء الله بكرة الساعة 11 مع مستر إل. برضو في احتمال عندنا سبيس مع تشارلي بنت من صحيفة إن شاء الله. وأيضا معنا حلقة الأستاذ خلدون الشيخ، الحلقة الخاصة بنهاية وختام موسم بريمير ليج. Thank you Dave Abdurrahman. Thank you for watching and good night. تصبحون على خير.
Good night.
Good night.